April 1994, Conroy and Glover escaped from a prison van custody in an armed ambush. Then in September 1994, £11 million worth of cannabis was found on board a yacht owned by Philip Berryman. In November 1995, Philip Berryman was found not guilty of importation of £11 million worth of cannabis. Berryman's defence was he was forced by threats from a gangster against the lives of his children, aged 6 and 12, to transport the drugs. The gangster was named by Berryman in court as Paddy Conroy. December 1995. At a trial of Conroy and Glover, an attempt was made to clear the public gallery of the court for evidence to be heard of Glover's role working undercover for the senior police officers. Quite clearly, this was an attempt by Northumbria Police to cover up their role in this scandal. December 9, 1995, witnesses for the prosecution had to be placed in a witness protection scheme. They had to leave their homes, their jobs, their family and friends, and be moved into a new town, be given new identities. All this because they gave evidence against Conroy and Glover, whom were only at liberty to commit these same offences by virtue of the fact that the most serious charges had been quashed by the police. For them to work for the police under police supervision. Had Glover not brought this evidence to light, these matters would very conveniently have been covered up under the cloak of the Official Secrets Act. In respect of Ronald Priestley, Priestley is a millionaire drug dealer from Leeds who in November 25th of November 1991, £600,000 worth of cocaine was found together with equipment for the manufacture of crack by police in a riverside property owned by Priestley. Priestley charged with running a crack factory. On the 9th of June 1992, Priestley gets bailed. And then March the 3rd, 1994, a mock trial was arranged for Priestley at Leeds Crown Court. The judge threw the case out, this despite overwhelming evidence of Priestley's guilt. But I thought Paddy was never into crack. I thought he was never going. He was only into a bit of puff, as you know. He never ever says to you about being friends with any crack. Oh, but wait a minute. David Glover, paid from the neck down, did announce that Paddy was friends with a coke dealer for Leeds. But then again, I've stopped believing Paddy Conroy for a while now, guys, so I've took the blinkers off. Anyway, March the 29th, 1994, 26 days after his ordered acquittal, Priestley is arrested and charged for kidnap, extortion and blackmail. Conroy and Glover are his co-accused. May the 19th, 1994, Priestley gets bail again. September 1995, kidnap, extortion, blackmail charges against Priestley are shelved. This despite tape recorded and video evidence against him. The kidnapped victim had to be released from the captivity of Conroy and Glover in an armed siege by police. Last year, at an inquiry by the Association of Chief Police Officers, the inquiry warned that the police network of informants was out of control. It said informants had dictated the course of many investigations and even influenced prosecutions. The tail is wagging the dog, said one researcher. My own grievances against Priestley, Conroy and a David Garside are well publicised. I enclose a copy of Yorkshire on Sunday. My own MP, George Moody, has petitioned that Lord Chancellor for a judicial inquiry into my own case, which includes a matter I have relayed to you. I now have national media interest in these matters, and any support that you can give my MP, or any comments you wish to express in writing would hopefully be of great help. So, we get a reply for that. And this is from the David Cleland MP, and it's dated the 12th of July 1996. Again, the guy exists. Dear sir, furthermore to my telephone conversation with yourself, I write to clarify certain incidents which has taken place in Newcastle and its surrounding area. These incidents may well directly involve your constituents who are not in a position to complain to you by virtue of the fact that the truth has been hidden from them under the cloak of the Official Secrets Act, P1s. These incidents raise grave concern into the way Northumbria Police have carried out operations in your constituency. Number 3, attempts were made at Newcastle Crown Court to clear the public gallery for evidence to be given in secret against all the principles of the British justice and democracy to cover up Northumbria's police role in this scandal. These incidents and others like them occurring all over Britain are a damning indictment that the policies adopted by the Conservative government, the party of law and order, to combat the ever-growing menace of illegal drugs. These policies designed to stem the flow of drugs in and into Britain have been a total disaster. In this respect, I write to you as an MP for Newcastle and the opposition MP. These incidents in the Newcastle and South Shields area relate to the activities of 2 Newcastle gangsters named Paddy Conroy and Davy Glover. Their gang and a gangster from Leeds named Ronald Priestley. I enclose copies of witness statements by Detective Sergeant Ian Graham Smith and Detective Chief Inspector Keith Felton that were produced in Newcastle Crown Court for Glover's defence. Clive Hindle was not a barrister, he was a solicitor. To date, Paddy Conroy has never been questioned or charged or anything regarding any murders. None. Paddy Conroy, I would think Paddy Conroy, we're reading that, because we've just the DC Henderson that Paddy Conroy's depended on all these years doesn't exist. So that takes that away. Then you've got Hepworth making deals with getting Hindle here to write a letter that nobody's going to check. Yeah, a police handler. I mean, I'd never heard of a police handler, guys, until I started watching Paddy Conroy. And honestly, I'm 47-year-old. I had never, in my entire life, and I've got a few pages in article, yeah, I have never heard of anybody having these police handlers. That was new to me. And obviously it's a thing, you know, obviously we knew something was happening. You know, you just, what I like to do is look at how much money was paid out to police informants in your area. That's interesting. And it always kind of fucking, when you see the figures, you think, wow, you know, that it can open your eyes. But again, they kind of give you, they make it hard for you because they give you figures that's flung over 4 years. The money paid to police informants is, well, people with law-abiding citizens would say that that's working. However, I think when you look at, well, if you look at, for example, the Hayes, or whatever you bloody call them, there was a supergrass for John Henry Sayers when John Henry Sayers was remanded for the conspiracy to commit murder on the Friday night murder investigation. If you look at the police informer they used there, a heroin addict, yeah, somebody that's been on their tools, yeah, to be used for anybody to use you as a reliable source of information is criminal. That in itself is criminal. I'm not telling everybody I've got police in my family. At the end of the day, I would never tar everybody in that, but I think, you know, Paddy Conroy keeps reverting to Masonics and conspiracy. Well, here you go. Here's one fact. I do not know if Keith Felton's a Mason. I do not care. It's irrelevant at this point in time. And if there was any conspiracy there, the first thing, if you're going to go in Paddy Conroy's way of conspiracies on Masonic Masons and Masonic temples, the first thing I would be doing is finding out if Keith Felton was a Freemason. I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it? It's nothing about that. I mean, it's irrelevant whether Keith Felton is a Freemason or not. And then you've got Paddy Conroy. People are saying, what's this Don Graham's farm all about? Well, here you go. Nobody has got a fucking clue what Don Graham's farm. The only person that seems to know a lot about Don Graham's farm is Paddy Conroy. Anybody else in that era and who knows, never heard of him. Half of them never heard of him until Paddy started rattling on. Only person that seems to know a lot about Don Graham and his farm is Paddy Conroy. How? I don't know. You need to ask Paddy that. It's like the fallout with Fergal and Gary Furby. Nothing to do with us. Just try to keep the peace. Not because there's Masons or nothing. Fergal, I don't believe Fergal is a Mason. I've never actually asked the guy. But there's nothing to do with that. Paddy thinks it's because it's all Masons that, that's how they're no wearing it. It's not to do with that, Paddy. It's just people having a bit of respect for somebody's, but both sides of the fence, and not want to create a shitstorm there. Nothing to do with Masons, mate. I don't even think Fergal is a Mason. I've never asked the guy, and he's never mentioned it to us. But I think it's just out of respect, Paddy. That's all it is. You shouldn't be telling these kind of stupid things into a conspiracy. It's the same like when you went after Steve Rafe. I mean, you couldn't get him on something, so you went straight for the sexuality bit, because personally, and I hope Steve doesn't see this and take it wrong, but I've seen Steve Rafe as being the weak link, as in not the fighting man, not the gangster, and somebody Paddy could easily intimidate. Why has Paddy Conroy got a thing about Masons? I'll be honest, I get told to get blackballed. However, I can't prove it, okay? I get told that he had high hopes of being introduced to a lodge, and he get blackballed. Whether or not that, I can't prove it. That there I can prove there, but I cannot. Now, it would make sense because Paddy Conroy probably loves the idea and the fixation in his brain of joining a thing to know secrets. I think that's basically, and because he cannot ever get into that, because of any conspiracy or anything against him, just because of the type of person he is. Nobody would want him. That's the way Masonic always be like, fuck that, no want a fucking head case in here. Bad enough the fucking head cases we've got, said that head case. Plus, at the end of the day, again, people would say, the reason Paddy, when he couldn't keep a secret. You'll find a lot of people in life who can't keep secrets, but join the Masons, they can keep a secret. But that Paddy would just never get in, because he wouldn't have enough people that he would associate with that would vouch for him. Because he goes against everything. Becoming a Mason tries to, if I went a bit more, anybody that I know that's went to the Masons, they've just become better people. They help people more and understand things a bit better. That's basically when somebody asked me how I would describe it. I'd say just a boys' club where nobody looks down on each other, everybody's on a level, and you can go and have a drink, you can come home and your wife's not asking you what woman was in the other night. And that's quite an easy way. A couple of questions asked. One, do you believe in God? And two, do you agree not to speak about politics? But Paddy says, you can't speak about politics, but all the bastards are in politics. But that's not, it's just a rule. It's just something you agree to, to become. Imagine going in there, and just all of a sudden your Labour's got up for the Tories are voting everything at your meetings before voting night. Could you imagine? That's why it's not what it's for. Again, sometimes if the quicker they open the doors, maybe the better. The average age for a Mason, I think, is 65 years of age. It's certainly, the lodges are certainly nothing like as busy. Some of the small lodges might get one or two candidates a year, but the older generation are dying off as well, so it needs a continuous. Some of the lodges, my family and that were involved, are really busy lodges, but a lot of attendance at them, a lot of people comes, and they'll travel all about the country and that, and it's good because, again, I've seen people having absolutely no confidence in life and joining the Masons, and then within a year or two they're shining with confidence. Paddy would never fit that criteria. The way he speaks about women in general, personally, I think he does nothing but perv over Anna Conley. That's my personal opinion on it. He's just an old pervert. Any guy that can sit there and have a lady come into his company and say, look at the tits on you and that, for a woman your age and everything, the big tits. I mean, that'd be like looking at my grandpa. My grandpa would never speak like that in front of women. It's just it's disgusting. I mean, we've all got a bit of humour, but you don't let it there take you, it puts me in mind of the grease monkey who would work in the garage, and just perv over everybody that come into the Cotswolds to get something done to their car, just a proper wee perv. He just puts me in mind of one of them, and rather than thinking it, he says it out loud. And, at the end of the day,